Welcome to Glass Technology Spectrum and Spectrum Starter windshield repair training video. Using either the bullseye tool or the star breaker, make a break in the glass for repair. Note that breaks are created in all shapes and sizes. The most common breaks are listed as a bullseye, star, in combination. Establish that the damage is isolated to the exterior layer of glass by checking for damage to the interior layer. To do this, run your razor blade along the underside of the break to detect any ruptures in the surface. If the impact has resulted in any damage to the interior layer of the windshield is considered unrepairable and should be replaced. Consult the ROLAG standard for additional information regarding repairable windshield damage. Using the carbide tip of the pit probe tool, carefully clear away any unstable fragments of the glass from the impact point. This will help ensure a flush finish to the repair. Should you need to clean the glass before continuing with the repair process, be sure not to introduce any cleaning agents or chemicals into the break. This can be accomplished by temporarily covering the break with a piece of tape. Next, equip the battery-powered drill with a glass cutting bit and adjust it to the high or low speed setting. Drill out the center of the impact point, taking care to stop immediately after reaching 2 millimeters into the glass. It is not always necessary to drill out the center of the break. Wipe away any glass debris caused by drilling with a paper towel. Using a small amount of suction cup lube, wet the suction cup of the 2-inch mirror and attach it to the inside of the windshield. Position it underneath the brake. Next, completely thread the injector into the bridge from the suction cup side. Back out the bridge adjusting screws so that they, along with the injector, do not restrict the bridge suction cup from properly attaching to the glass. Now, slide the 2-inch mirror off to one side of the brake. Using a small amount of suction cup lube, lubricate the bridge suction cup and fully compress it onto the glass. Using the 2-inch mirror to view the injector seal, begin lowering the injector toward the glass until partial contact of the seal is observed. This is evident by a darkening of the seal from white to gray. Next, lower the bridge adjusting screw until they touch the glass. Continue to adjust the tension of the injector and bridge screws until a uniform band of gray, approximately 2 millimeters, is achieved across the surface of the injector seal. With the injector and bridge properly aligned and tensioned against the glass, slide the mirror back over the brake, followed by the bridge and the injector. Pull up slightly on the neck of the bridge when repositioning the injector over the brake. This is to prevent the injector seal from being cut or damaged by any broken glass on the surface. Once over the brake, ease the injector back onto the glass. Check the placement of the injector seal to ensure that it completely encloses the area of missing surface glass. Note, if the pit is too large to fit inside the injector seal, a large pit adapter can be used, which increases the seal capacity of the injector. Lubricate the plunger mechanism of the injector assembly by applying a few drops of HV resin to the brown plunger seals and insert the plunger into the injector body using a slight twisting motion. Move the plunger in and out of the injector body several times until a smooth action is achieved. This will complete the lubricating process. Begin threading the brass locking screw into the side hole located at the top of the injector body and align it with the groove on the plunger. To properly set the locking screw into the groove of the plunger, turn the screw until it pinches tight, followed by backing it out one full turn. This should allow the plunger to move freely in and out of the injector body while also allowing the locking screw to catch at the end of the groove when the plunger is pulled out all the way. Glass Technology offers a full line of diamond clear windshield repair resins for all climates and temperatures. Referencing your manual, select the appropriate resin for the repair at hand and fill the resin reservoir with approximately 5 drops. Use the tip of the resin bottle to also lubricate the black seal of the reservoir. Locate the notch in the knurl of the reservoir which corresponds to the position of the locking pin on the reservoir. Align it with the notch on the side chamber of the injector body and fully insert the reservoir into the side chamber. Next, turn the reservoir until the 2 notches are no longer aligned. This will rotate the locking pin into a groove that prevents it from pulling out. You are now ready to begin your first vacuum cycle. With the plunger fully inserted into the injector body and the air release of the plunger closed tight, brace the injector body with your opposite hand and draw back on the plunger until you feel the locking screw catch at the end of the groove. Then tighten the locking screw to hold the plunger in the extended position. The plunger is now creating a vacuum. Allow it to sit in vacuum position for approximately 1 minute. After a minute has passed, slowly rotate the injector body to change the position of the side chamber and resin reservoir from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. This will allow the resin to drain from the reservoir into the injector body and flow towards the glass. The resin should now be entering the center of the repair, which can be viewed from the mirror. Allow several seconds for the resin to completely drain from the reservoir and then loosen the air release seal of the plunger to break the vacuum. This will give the resin some additional weight to further gravitate into the repair. Next, retighten the air release seal, loosen the locking screw, and slowly push the plunger back into the injector body while once again bracing the injector body with your opposite hand. Stop pushing when you begin to feel resistance against the plunger. This will normally occur when there is approximately 1 inch of stroke remaining. Tighten the locking screw to hold the plunger in this position. You are now applying pressure to the resin, which will inject the resin further into the repair. Allow the plunger to sit in the pressure position for a full 2 minutes. End the pressure cycle by loosening the air release to break the seal. Next, loosen the locking screw and finish inserting the plunger back into its starting position. Retighten the air release and draw the plunger back once again to create a vacuum. Tighten the locking screw and allow the plunger to sit for another full minute. Loosen the air release to break the seal and end the second vacuum cycle. Next, retighten the air release, loosen the locking screw, and push the plunger back into the injector body until the same point of resistance is reached to re-establish good pressure. Tighten the locking screw and allow the injector to sit in a pressure cycle for a full 2 minutes. The flexing technique is performed to improve the resin flow into tight areas of the repair. This is done by switching the tip of the pit probe from the carbide tip to the blunt aluminum tip. Using the blunt tip, apply direct pressure to the fractures as they begin to exit from underneath the tip of the injector. This slight downward pressure will cause the fractures to flex apart or open, allowing for better penetration of the resin. For correct pressure, apply just enough weight to cause the fractures to separate or become more visible. Maintain consistent pressure until the resin can be observed flowing into open areas, providing clarity to the glass. This technique is only used during a pressure cycle. Continue to repeat additional vacuum and pressure cycles as necessary to achieve a maximum fill of the brake. Always end on a pressure cycle. The Diamond Blue Wave is an advanced UV LED curing technology that can be added to any glass technology windshield repair systems. Return to the main menu and select the Diamond Blue Wave for the correct curing and finishing techniques associated with this curing device. If the Diamond Blue Wave is not part of your system, continue watching the remainder of this training video. After establishing that the brake has been filled, plug in the 12-volt lamp. Flip the switch to the on position and place it next to the injector so the UV light shines onto the repair. This will initiate the curing of the resin while it's still under pressure in the injector. Allow the lamp to sit in this position for a full 2 minutes. Next, temporarily remove the lamp and depressurize the injector by loosening the air release. Then lift up on the edge of the bridge suction cup to release it and remove the bridge and the injector from the glass. Immediately apply a small amount of pit filler resin just above the impact point of the brake. Allow the resin to gently flow into the pit, lightly placing a pit square over the top. You may also wipe away any excess resin from the glass which is not covered by the pit square. Reattach the lamp to shine directly over the repair and initiate the curing of the pit filler resin. Allow the lamp to sit for another 3 minutes. Note, you cannot overcure the resin, therefore no damage will result from allowing the resin to cure longer than 3 minutes. After the required curing time has expired, remove the lamp and peel away the pit square to expose the resin. Check to see that the resin is solid, indicating that the resin is ready for scraping. With the razor blade in hand, stand the blade up tall with the cutting edge against the glass. Begin running the blade back and forth across the repair in all directions using the surrounding glass as a guide to achieve a level surface. When you are finished scraping, use your finger to check that the surface is smooth. Note, if the surface has any low spots in it, a second application of pit filler can be applied for re-scraping the surface. Notice that the scraped pit filler appears dull. To improve the finish, apply a small amount of pit gloss to the area. Using a paper towel, buff the pit gloss until the pit appears shiny and clear. Finish the repair process by thoroughly cleaning the windshield inside and out for final inspection. Congratulations on a great windshield repair.